Welcome back to the library, everyone. In today's video, we are trying something a little bit different. This is a format very popular in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and that is top 10s. That's right. Today I will be doing my personal favorite top 10 spell cards in GOAT format. Since in GOAT format the spell cards are by far the most powerful card type, and they dictate the pace of the game. So without further ado, at number 10 we have Mystical Space Typhoon. Also known as MST for short, this quick play spell card is very useful at destroying singular pieces of spell and trap cards. This can clear, for example, a continuous spell or trap card that hinders your gameplay or enhances your opponent's strategy. You can also target face-down spell or trap cards and destroy them in case they are Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, Solemn Judgment, or any of the other game-changing pieces that your opponent may have. So Mystical Space Typhoon, as a very versatile staple, deserves number 10. Next up at number 9 we have Book of Moon. Some would say the most versatile spell card in GOAT format, and maybe even wider. It has many uses. What it does is target one face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense. Now, for example, as it is a quick play spell card, you can use it on your opponent's turn or during the battle phase to prevent your opponent from attacking. Also, you can flip your opponent's monster face down in case it has high attack or a useful effect, so that you can negate it and run it over with your own weaker monster. Another use for Book of Moon is targeting your own monster with a flip effect and changing it face down to reset and use the effect again. So with all these uses, Book of Moon deserves number 9 on this list. Next up at number 8 is Premature Burial. As Monster Reborn, the signature Reborn spell card, is banned, Premature Burial is a watered-down version of the same card, it being an equip spell card and requiring you to pay 800 life points, being sort of a drawback, balancing out the fact that if you return a powerful monster you can change the game completely and take over the tempo. For example, if you reborn Dark Magician of Chaos, that single-handedly can just end the game for you. So Premature Burial is very powerful, but only at number 8. At number 7 we have the namesake of GOAT format, Scapegoat, and also the most important card in the deck, GOAT Control. Scapegoat summons 4 sheep tokens in defense position on your field to prevent your opponent from attacking you directly, so it is mainly used as a stall piece. But the sheep tokens, being weak as they are, also have many other uses, which we will come to later down this list. But let's just say that you can use a certain spell card to transform a cutesy sheep token into this monstrosity. So this is something GOAT Control was very infamous for, as it took over the game. Scapegoat, doing what it does, deserves this place on the list. Next up, as we mentioned before, the way to turn GOAT tokens into Thousand Eyes Restrict is Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis says, offer one monster on your side of the field as tribute to summon a fusion monster from your fusion deck with the same level. So level being the only limitation, this card can be used with Reckless Abandon to tribute anything you no longer need and summon game-changing pieces such as this. Of course, this card was banned shortly after GOAT format because as the game progressed and many other powerful fusion monsters were printed, this card just became more and more game-breaking. Next up on our list at number 5 is Heavy Storm. The most powerful back row removal card in the game at this point, it destroys all spell and trap cards on the field. It just completely wipes your opponent's defenses and clears your way to victory. Very simple, very effective, and very pretty. This is a Magic card edition from Metal Raiders way back in 2002. So a very precious card of mine for the collection, as well as for the deck. At number 4 we have Snatch Steal, a game-changing equip spell card. It can take control of your opponent's monster permanently, so switching control to you at the cost of giving your opponent 1000 life points per turn. Now, bear in mind that this can add up if you don't end the game quickly, but of course if you use Snatch Steal very intelligently, you can take their boss monster and just beat them to death in a couple of turns. Once again, very simple and incredibly useful. To no one's surprise, we enter top 3 with Pot of Greed. The card that simply reads, draw 2 cards from your deck. Coincidentally, this is the most powerful thing you can do in a card game. Draw more cards, since the more resources you have, the stronger you are on board. Pot of Greed simply does a +1, replacing itself and giving you an extra card. This, you could say, is the most powerful effect in the game, but I kind of disagree, since we will see the next 2 cards can be a bit more game-breaking. But Pot of Greed at number 3 is a very popular and well-known staple in the game. Of course, since GOAT format, it has been banned forever, since, sadly, this is one of the most powerful effects in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And at number 2, Delinquent Duo, you could say the most infamous and most hated card in this game. Delinquent Duo says pay 1000 life points and randomly select 1 card from your opponent's hand and they discard it. After that, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and discards that one as well. So Delinquent Duo takes apart your opponent's hand as well as their strategy. Delinquent Duo in the opening hand, in the first turn of the game, is something that can decide the game at the spot. Imagine drawing 6 cards, playing Delinquent Duo, and your opponent discards 2 cards. 1 at random, which could be the most powerful card they have, and 1 of their choice, which is pretty much a very painful choice to make. Then you set Magician of Fate. While Delinquent Duo is in your graveyard, your opponent attacks, you flip Magician of Fate and return Duo. Then on turn number 2, you play Delinquent Duo again, ripping the remaining 2 cards from your opponent's hand. This game is practically over. So this is why Delinquent Duo is considered very unfair and very unfun, but the number 2 most powerful card in GOAT format. And in my opinion, the most powerful card in GOAT format is Graceful Charity. Not only is it immensely pretty, if I do say so myself, it is incredibly useful. Draw 3 cards from your deck, then discard any 2 cards from your hand. This at face value sounds very fair, but it is anything but. You can dig deep into your deck, draw 3 cards, see what they are, and then discard 2 from your whole hand that you no longer need. For example, these can be the 2 worst cards that you drew. This can fix your opening hand and make your game playable. But this can be abused in many ways. The most prevalent strategy in GOAT being Chaos. You can dump dark and light monsters in the graveyard, and you are eligible to summon Blackluster Soldier, the most powerful monster in the game and boss monster of many decks, that can close out the game in a few turns. So if you draw 3 cards, discard 1 light, 1 dark, and you summon Blackluster Soldier, this is considered a game-winning turn for you. Next up, many Chaos strategies, namely Chaos Turbo, use Thunder Dragon. So discard 1 and add the remaining 2. Then use Graceful Charity, draw 3 cards and discard the remaining 2 Thunder Dragons. You have thinned your deck by 5 or 6 cards. You have 2 light monsters in the graveyard, and you have discarded 0 useful cards. This is insane. And this is not the end. If you manage to discard 2 Night Assailants, they can return each other. Since Night Assailant's effect says when this is discarded from your hand to the graveyard, choose 1 flip effect monster from your graveyard and return it to the hand. So the 2 of them see each other and return each other. But if this is not the case, then one of them can return another flip monster like Magician of Faith. So once again, you are not at a disadvantage. I think this is enough evidence to place Graceful Charity at number 1, head and shoulders above the other spell cards. Let's not forget that you can return Graceful Charity with Magician of Fate's effect and draw 3 more cards, and just this keeps going and going and going. And that's enough said about Graceful Charity. So thank you for coming, thank you for seeing my top 10, and these are my favorite spell cards in the game, the most powerful ones I play in any deck. And that is about it. And thank you for coming, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.